What's up, YouTube, fish tube and fish fins? Yours truly, Rob with HYGGER Aquariums. Today I want to bring to you the AQQA AQ-012-2.5 watt rechargeable dual port air pump. So in talking with HYGGER, who is also AQQA, they asked if I would do a review on the aquarium cleaner, which I did. The review is on the channel. But I got to thinking about the season. We're coming into spring, we're coming into, one minute it's snowing, the next minute it's hot, then it's cold. As we creep closer into the summer and we start getting stormy weathers, why not talk to them about allowing me to do a review, and unboxing I should say, on this rechargeable lithium battery air pump. So I mentioned, the seasonal aspect. Also for us recreational fishing people, keeping your bait alive in a bucket, keeping your catch alive in the cooler, depending on how big they are. Put one of these on the side, and you're good to go. So at any rate, HYGGER AQQA graciously sent me out the pump, the AQ. They have 3 different models: the 1.7, which is a single output, the 2.5, which is the dual, and then the 5 watt. So with this, you can see it's got a dual finish. It's got the matte and it's got the gloss, so it's pretty sharp looking. 3-position power button. On shows you it's fully charged. Now with this, you can plug it in and it will go from charging to just running. One of the key features, I think. I'll get back to that in a sec. Press it one more time and intermitting comes on. Pretty quiet pump. Rubber feet to help minimize that vibration. Now it's not on. Back on. So I'll get into this a little bit more on in the video, and then of course press it again, it turns it off. So we'll go into what comes in the box. You get the pump, you get the USB charger. It's only 2.5 feet, so depending on where it is in relationship to your tank, could be an issue. They also give you the plug for it. You'll get the 2 air lines as well as 2 air stones. As you can see, the hose comes wrapped up like this. One of the drawbacks to that is the kinking, which puts unnecessary pressure back on the pump, forcing air through these various kinks. So that's like one of the drawbacks right there. Easily fixed. Just get yourself some silicone air tubing, or the tubing of your choice that you use normally. With this hose, I would suggest to AQQA to roll it up in the package to avoid that. They do say with the air stones, soak those for 2 or more hours, so that way again you're not adding to back pressure to your pump. A tip or an idea, I would say go check out our friend over at the co-op and get the Never Clog air pump, or the air stones. They have the add-on replacement stones in the center, if you want to call them that, and you can twist and turn and adjust the air, which I think would be a great idea, especially with this pump. So we'll get into the specifics of this. The voltage is 100 to 240 volt, 50 to 60 megahertz. The 1.7 airflow is 1.7 liters a minute. Both have a decibel of plus or minus 30 decibels or 30 dBs, which even putting this on a table with the rubber feet, it's quiet. A lot quiet than some of the other pumps I run, and I run quite a few. They recommend putting it on a towel or something like that. I would suggest, because a lot of folks don't use them anymore because they have laser mices, put it on the mouse pad. Rubber against rubber on a hard surface really helps to minimize that vibration. So the pressure is 0.01 MPa, which stands for megapascal. To translate that into PSI, or pounds per square inch, on the next model down, that's about 145 pounds of pressure. Now on the 2.5, it's 0.02 MPa, or a PSI of 2.90 pounds, or 2.90 pounds. The depth, they say, for the 1.7 is 1.7. For the 2.5, you guessed it, 2.5. The cord length is again 2.5, the charging cord. The application for the 1.7 is up to 100 gallons. The 2.5 watt is up to 140 gallons. As you can see, it's not gigantic, but it's not teeny weeny. You're looking at, on the 1.7, 3.9 inches by 2.8 by 1.4. And this one, 4.7 by 3.35 by 1.4. What they refer to as the last work, which when I showed you it on and how it shut off when I had this light lit up, last work is basically having this on straight, no intermitting, which is what the INT on this stands for, right there. So with that, the 1.7 is going to run 14 to 18 hours. Intermitting work, 25 to 28 hours. For this model, 12 to 16 hours, and 20 to 22 hours. So not too bad. Now, when I was speaking earlier about, recreational fishing people, that use live bait regardless of what it is, take the single watt one or the 1.7 single tube, or even this one, and you drop these into your bait bucket. Keep them alive. If you have a cooler and you want to just try to, keep the water moving and stuff, you can use one of these at least to pump air into that water till you get your catch on. Another one is if you like to go out and try to catch native fish, check with your local DECs to make sure it's legal. But if that's something that you do, or you want to go out with the kids, catch some and examine them, put them in a specimen container and take a look at them, and and educate your children, or whatever the case is, another good idea that you can use this. So as I mentioned, with native catching a fish or your bait bucket, this has a clip. Hang it right on your 5-gallon bucket or whatever pail that you have, and you're all set. For the applicable tank size, the 1.7 is good up to 100 gallons. The 2.5 is good up to 140, and then the 5 watt is good up to 160. Now the 2.5 and the 5 watt are the same size. As far as the last working time for the 5 watt, it's 10 to 12 hours, and then the intermitting work time is 14 to 16, so slightly less than the 1.7 and the 2.5. The battery capacity for the 1.7 and the 2.5 is 2,600 milliamp hours, and then the 5 watt is 3,500 milliamps. So definitely a stylish looking unit. They also recommend putting this above the water line. If you're going to put it below your tank, definitely use a inline check valve to keep from water flowing or backflowing into here and killing this, as well as pumping out onto your floor. As far as mounting it above the tank, at least 25 centimeters or 10 inches above the water surface. They give you the information on that. The warranty side of this is 1 year free replacement for up to 3 months, and 1 month free return on that. So all in all, they give you your contact information, and I thought this would be a good thing to introduce to you guys. Now, I know the other one that I mentioned about the air stones had one that they had out, but it was out for a short time. And I know, which I said I was going to get back to, about the plugging in it and running it. Now, we're also in that season of power failures. We're in the season where our LFSs are going to get more fish in, and what are we going to do? We're going to go out and buy more fish, or whatever your choice of habitat, your aquatic habitat species is, was, to be, transporting them. Now, if you're lucky enough and you only live a couple minutes, not a big deal. But if you're going to like a swap and you're going to buy fish, or you're going to a swap and sell fish, make a rig, whatever, and mount this to the side of your cooler or whatever you're taking your fish in, and keep them alive. Keep that color in there. Get the sale because the fish aren't stressed. Take it a step further. Get yourself a sponge filter. Put in one of the stones in the sponge filter. Put it in your tank and let it cycle in your already cycled tank, so that when you're going to buy fish or you're going to sell fish, they're not stressed. You have them in a portable tank, and you can run it, as you heard, up to 12 hours or whatever you're going to use, running a filter that's already cycled, so they're not stressed. They maintain that color in it, and people see it and go, wow, they're beautiful. I'll take all of the ones you have right there. Just food for thought. As far as fishing, again, that. But the reason I was going in that direction is, with this one, you can plug this in, and your charging adapter or your charging port is right here. And you basically just take your equivalent to a C connector. Okay, so circling back to the intermitting and the full on. So now I have it plugged in, and as you can see, it's charging. So now, and this will run plugged in, and it'll still charge. And then when it gets to that point of charge, I'm assuming it's going to stay on a trickle charge, but for whatever reason you want it on intermitting. So now the question you're probably thinking is, okay, I'm not home, I'm on intermitting for whatever your reasoning is, and I lose power. Full on. Power comes back on, stays in full on. So that is, to me, one of the small drawbacks. But not having to worry about if it's charged, you have it running just like this, it's on your tank, you lose your power, it's on full. You still have a decent amount of time, unless you're away for the weekend or whatever. The battery's gonna die at some point. I definitely think utilizing one of the co-ops never clogs. I think it might even kind of increase the time this is going to run, because it's not fighting to push the air through one of these air stones. But with that, folks, I'm going to put a link in the description. So if you want to get one of these for yourself, you certainly can go through it. Use DeFreeze20 as your discount code and get up to 20% off anything HYGGER or AQQA on the site. As I mentioned in the beginning, I am not getting compensated for this review, and as always, if it's something good, I'm going to tell you it's good. If it's garbage, I'm going to tell you it's garbage. So my final thoughts are, this is pretty good. It looks good, and it appears to work good. So we'll see what happens. We'll put it through its motions, and we'll come back and we'll do an update. So with that, also don't forget 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I'm going to be giving away the AQ quartz aquarium heater, your choice on the wattage. So make sure you share this, get the word out, get me to 1,000 subscribers so I can do that giveaway. Again, this is Rob with Freaks Aquariums. Thanks for stopping by. As always, peace. Keep those sleeves wet. Take care of yourself and each other. Peace.